Welcome back to Let's Not Sugarcoat It. Season 3 is here and we're excited to dive into the core of communication, relationships, and leadership.
We're your hosts, Bella and Lee, a husband and wife duo with a successful business helping couples and organizations get it together to play a bigger game and elevate their relationships and performance.
We believe in keeping it real, so each week we'll bring you incredible guests, entrepreneurs sharing their authentic experiences, along with episodes featuring just the two of us tackling the tough topics.
So, if you're ready to enhance your connections and sharpen your leadership skills, you're in the right place. Let's get started.
And we have a household full of girls.
Yeah.
So let's ask these men. And entrepreneurship and business, there's a lot of ins and outs. How do you manage the estrogen in the house?
I'm going to go back to that cool, calm, collected statement you said. I mean, that's a key thing for me, right? Is just not getting enrolled in all the chaos sometimes, right?
Just kind of let it.
Yeah. My role in the household 90% of the time is to balance the energy, right? That's how I see it.
No. I just shut it. There is a since it's all this topics about masculinity and femininity, like at some point a man just has to put the foot down at the end of the day. And with my girls, and they're incredible girls.
They are very well behaved.
But they push the bear.
Poke the bear.
And you don't go far. Like, I don't have particular patience. You a patient fella. I'm like, even her daughters felt that too. Like, you can't take it far. But then they're great. Like, it just balance, yin and yang. You just balance itself out. I don't know, but like,
and they only are with you every second week, so they get a break.
Yeah.
Me too.
Well, and that's also, so what I'm not saying is being a pushover, right? Like, there's still boundaries.
You still have a line,
right? I'm still firm with them.
Yeah.
And there's many a times where, like, when
you
I'm
are
around,
the firm one.
I step in and be like, nuh-uh, right? That's not how, you talk to your bubcha, talk to your mom, right? And we have they get some coaching, right?
Yeah.
And on how to be respectful, because that's
the thing is this, it's like when you're not around, right? It's always just like moms always get the brunt of the emotional energy, I'm going to say. And because our girls are 13, so periods just came into the mix.
Yeah.
So it's, the other day, one of our girls was very emotional. We joked about something, and then we were like, yeah, you're awesome. And it upset her. She went and cried. And we're like, what is happening? And I asked her, I'm like, are you going to get your period? And she's like, I don't know. And I looked at the chart. I'm like, yeah. And then the next day she got it. So I'm like, see, you're just learning how to do the hormones. However, I'm also, like perimenopausal, 45, 46, your hormones start changing, depleting. And then we have my mom.
It's 3 generations under one roof.
3 generations. It is. It's just.
How good is her English? Is she watching your podcast?
Yeah, she barely will understand now. Oh. No, she will understand some of it, but she doesn't listen anymore. She didn't like it when we were doing the book and speaker series, and I was talking about how I experienced my childhood versus how she experienced it for me. Right? That they never did anything wrong. It's that generation that you don't talk about your feelings.
They don't talk. Yeah.
They don't talk about your feelings. You just say yes,
no.
So that's, so we're trying to navigate too.
Yeah. You got all of that.
You have a very different relationship with your kids than you had with your mom growing up.
Yes.
Yeah. And so you've got all these dynamics in the house, and then you're trying to build a business, and you're trying to build it together. Mm-hmm. Right? With your partners in business and your partners at home.
Yeah.
And those are 2 very different things.
Yeah.
Right? And you can't operate the business like you operate the household, although there are some things that have some crossover, but you got to learn how to not carry certain things into the business and business into the household, and then find time. No, you got to make time to be able to not do
business, not talk business.
Right. To focus on the kids, to focus on each other. Because just because we spend a lot of time together working the business doesn't mean that we're building the relationship connection, right? And so then we got to take time. Okay,
it's going on date night.
Yeah. And we're not going to talk about work?
Because as women entrepreneurs, we do operate a lot in our masculine, a lot. And that's when burnout happen. That's when, inflammation, sickness, hormone imbalances happen. And yeah, and then stepping into that feminine energy and leading with that, how has that changed your business strategy and communication?
I
and
would
who
say
you bring into your
my
circle?
whole life has changed.
Yeah.
The first thing is, I had wanted to be in my masculine. I had wanted to dominate. I had wanted to make a lot of money. I had wanted to lead. I had wanted to be very, very strong and ambitious. Not to say that I don't want that anymore. I would just like to do it in a way that feels more natural to myself and my body. I would say being in that energy all the time eroded my relationship and my marriage. I would say that had probably played a large part in why we weren't able to have a conscious relationship, because masculine men are not attracted to masculine women. Like that's just not a thing. It has to have some sort of polarization. And so when you're a very, very strong woman, then you're going to attract a softer, more subtle man. And not like there's anything wrong with it. So this journey for me has really been around understanding that each of us are both masculine and feminine, and then how do we play in the middle? And I've never been one to be super in balance. And so now I'm just in a time in my life where it's really important that I'm able to do that. So what does that mean for me from a business perspective is getting more help. Like I don't have to do everything myself. Releasing things that don't serve me. So whether that be relationships or friendships or clients or businesses, I'm finding a way for me to work smarter instead of harder. Coming from an immigrant family, which similar to you, you have a background in that as well. We're told we have to work really hard and you have to work hard. There's only hard work.
Yes. Oh, my mom to this day, she's like,
no
what are
sleep.
you doing? Yeah, no sleep. We're not allowed to sleep. I was never allowed to sleep. And yeah, it was like, my mom still doesn't understand what we do. And when we say we want to bring things online and I'm in this energy of softness, she's like, what are you doing? She doesn't understand. You have to go 9 to 5. Like it's still...
rest.
Yes.
Rest. Unfortunately, I think there's been so much trauma over the years with so many things happening in the economy or political cycles that they don't understand the concept and they weren't afforded the opportunity or capability or luxury, really. We live in a time where our money can do some heavy lifting for us, right? And so my family very much had the beliefs because of their own trauma that when you make money, you hold on to it really, really tight. And so that's a lot of the work that I've been doing myself is untangling myself from these stories that are not even mine. This is, generations of poverty. I didn't grow up in poverty, but yet I have the same stories. Right. And so to me, that's soft girl era. Right. Getting more focus on investments. How can I build wealth so I'm not trading necessarily my time for money? Hence, my background professionally is in software and why I've come back into the software world. About 10 years ago, I manifested being a software CEO. I'm so grateful that this is the opportunity I get now, but it's the concept of building something once and selling that over and over and over again, right? Every single month. And versus in these last 10 years prior to this, it's been about services. And so, yes, you can make a lot of money in services, but I'm working a ton. Right. I'm constantly on sales calls. I'm constantly in delivery. I'm constantly just go, 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 go. So then where does that leave room for relationship?
Yeah, babe. I have a question because in this fast-paced world, people want a quick fix now. They want a pill to fix everything.
Not wrong.
How do you navigate
Do both.
that type of
I mean, I remind the patient.
Okay, there you go.
So in my practice, no, literally, seriously. So people, you always, the way I think about it is this: oftentimes, you're looking for an early win, right? Okay, so where can we win today for this particular thing, right? That's important to the patient, right? And then that brings them along the journey to be able to then circle back and deal with the why. You know what I mean? But oftentimes you have to get people out of the weeds first before they have even the inner ability and energy to deal with the why. You can't, flog a dead horse, right? If somebody comes to you exhausted, you can't say, well, you should go run. Right. Yeah. Good idea. Let's go to the gym. Right. No.
What I think of being human is we also sometimes need those quick wins to give us that momentum and that sense of like, okay, this is working.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And taking
Mhm.
the pill, right? I
Mhm.
love the traditional doctor answer. It's like, well, it depends.
Yeah.
Totally
Yeah,
depends.
but
Yeah.
Everything is
both, right? But it's like
context. Yeah.
you get that little quick win, but it's like it's
Yeah.
not the long term.
Well,
Not always.
Right? So
Yeah.
take this,
Yeah.
it's going to get you feeling better or on a
Mhm.
path. So then you can also do these lifestyle changes,
Mhm.
right?
Mhm.
Yeah.
That in time, whatever
Mhm.
that time is, then you don't need to do the pill
Well,
fix
and I find a
anymore.
lot of my patients at the moment, are really feeling discouraged by medicine. So saying, I'm seeing my doctor tells me I'm fine, I don't feel fine. How do I get to the bottom of this? This is why they're reaching out to us and going, we're reaching out because we've heard that you guys have a different approach. And part of my explanation to the patient is usually that Canadian doctors, and I say Canadian because I'm in Canada, Canadian doctors are trained to treat disease. So if you are not sick, I have no job, right? So when you come in, if I can diagnose a disease and I can give you medication to help with that, then my job is successful. They are not trained to prevent disease. They don't have the time to work with the patients either, because in the system that they've been trained in, they are told this is your expectation. You spend that time, you treat the disease, you move them on.
Mhm.
So preventative medicine is not something that's in their wheelhouse. They're not even familiar with it. Then you want to add the nuances of things like, let's say, women's hormones and men's hormones, where it doesn't always fit into the defined numbers that they've been trained. I say as well is when we look at lab values, the lab values are only there to tell us whether you have a disease or not.
Mhm.
They're not there to tell you whether or not you're healthy. So when you're in normal doesn't, like, a 2 out of a 10 and an 8 out of 10 are not the same score,
Mhm.
but they're both normal. And a lot of our patients are looking for that, how we can look at, okay, what in my normal realm
Yeah.
can be optimized.
Mhm.
And then we're able to use both Western medicine and lifestyle
Mhm.
and naturopathic kind of modifications to be
Yeah.
able to kind of get them that journey, which is what they're looking for.
So, like, when you sit there and you tell yourself that you're a biological female when you're not, you're kidding yourself. You're giving yourself this disbelief of something that's not true. And what is wrong with being true to yourself? Like, why is that so wrong? Like, to me, I can't wrap my mind around it. Like, I understand the concept of wanting to be the opposite sex that I was born, wanting to be the opposite gender, wanting to present this way, wishing that I was born this way. But I can also understand that it didn't happen. And in order for me to feel sane and to feel true to my own mind, I have to be able to accept that. And I don't understand how other people can't accept that.
I think, yeah, because I feel like if we don't, what I love about that, I was just sitting in it, is like, then the lines get blurred in, like, that whole question, like, what is a woman, right? And in sports and in bathrooms, we've had so many transgender women compete in women's sports and blowing everyone out of the water. And how fair is that? As women, we also were fighting for rights for so many years. I mean, it's only been, 50 years since we were able to vote or, buy our own house or get a bank account without a man. And now I feel like we're losing a little bit of what it means to be a biological woman, because I still want to feel like I am a woman. We can celebrate, trans women, trans men. We can celebrate men. We can say, black people, white people, but I feel like sometimes, somewhere, the lines are becoming a little bit blurred of women's rights now being kind of taken away. I'm like, no, I can't be a mother. You're going to take away motherhood for me? Like, that's what makes me a woman. And I want my children to always be their mother. Right? So there, like you said, we could celebrate everyone. But we do need to honor each, I feel, gender and transgender, and we can have space for everyone without taking away spaces for, I'm going to speak for myself, for women.
Yeah. So what a lot of that falls into, I think, is that where people basically feel like, oh, well, so basically what you're saying, in order for me to be accepted, I have to be passable. And it's like, a lot of people get offended by that. And I'm like, no, you do. You have to be passable. If If you want to be comfortable and have people around you feel comfortable about you walking into the women's room and being completely non-threatening and just going in and using the bathroom, washing your hands and leaving, you have to be passable. You can't go in there looking like your husband with the dress on and be like, I'm a trans woman, so I'm using this space. No, you're not passable. Whether you feel like you should be a woman or not, you're not at that stage.
We hope you enjoyed today's episode and gained valuable insights to elevate your life and business.
If you found value in our conversation, spread the love. Share this episode with family and friends, and let's grow this supportive community together.
And don't forget to like and follow us so we can reach more amazing people just like you.
Until next time, remember, let's not sugarcoat it. Keep it real, raw, and unfiltered.